worries. You can practice on any non-slip surface. I have 2 yoga blocks here. If you don't have yoga blocks, don't worry about it. I'll tell you what to do when we get to the part where we're going to be using them. So if you do have the yoga blocks, just go ahead and sit them down towards the back of your mat, like where your head would be, because we're going to lie down in a second. Before we get started, I just want to remind you, please make sure you're listening to your body. Skip anything that doesn't feel right for you. Anytime we're in down dog, you can take a child's pose, or you could take either of those poses if you start to feel fatigued and want a little break. And please make sure that you've checked with a healthcare provider before starting a new exercise routine. So we're going to start laying down on our mats, on our backs in Shavasana. So just lay down, find a comfortable position. If it feels better in your body to have your knees bent, this sometimes will take some pressure off of your low back. So you can have your knees bent. Otherwise, you can extend them down the mat, hands by your side, and just close your eyes here for a moment. If you're not comfortable closing your eyes, you can just soften your gaze on the ceiling or sky or whatever is above you. And just slowly begin to bring your awareness into your breath and into your body. Not really trying to change anything yet, but just notice how you're feeling. And notice the quality of your breath. Is it short? Is it long? Is it smooth? Do you kind of feel it hitch a little? Just noticing, not changing. And then see if you can begin to make your inhales and exhales the same length. Maybe counting how long each one takes and trying to make them the same. And then trying to breathe just in and out your nose. This helps us focus our breath. It helps filtrate the air. It helps heat our bodies. But if at any point breathing through your nose isn't working for you today, you can breathe through your mouth. And then trying to make each breath a little bit longer. So maybe you were counting to 3 or 4 on each inhale and exhale. Maybe you can take that up to 4 or 5. Maybe even more than that. This is Samavriti breathing, equal breath. We'll do it together here in a moment. Take a deep inhale through your nose. Exhale out your nose. This time inhaling for 5, 4, 3, 2. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2. Again, in 4, 3, 2, and out 4, 3, 2. Again, in 4, 3, 2, and out 4, 3, 2. One more. In 4, 3, 2, and out 4, 3, 2. And then just breathe naturally. Notice if maybe your breathing has gotten a little bit deeper, a little bit smoother than it was a moment ago when we started. One more exhale here. And then we're going to begin to bring more awareness and engagement into our bodies. So let's start by flexing the feet. So reaching out through the heels and bringing the toes back towards your shins. And then you may notice, like on me, my legs are turned out. Neutrally rotate the legs so that the toes and knees point up to the sky. And then you can think of your thighs pressing down towards the floor. And then your kneecaps lifting up towards your hips. So you're engaging these large muscles on the fronts of your legs, the quadriceps. And then bring your awareness into your pelvis and your spine. So we want to have a little lift in the low back here. You can slide a finger or two. And what's going to change that is your pelvis. So if you're sticking your bum out, you'll have a bigger lift. If you're scooping your tailbone under, you'll have no lift there. So lengthen the tailbone down and sort of play around with where your pelvis is to find that little lift in your low back. And then the spine behind your spine behind your rib cage, your thoracic spine is going to be touching the floor. Hands down to the side, palms can face forward or in, whatever feels better in your body. Shoulder blades just gently come together on your back. So we're still just, lying on the floor, but now we're in this Supta Tadasana, reclined mountain pose. So there's engagement and awareness in your body and in your muscles. Exhale here, and let's inhale the arms up over, like towards the sky, and then exhale them back overhead, pausing wherever you feel your spine start to move away from that neutral position. So for me, that's like right here, kind of in front of my ears. So palms face together, wrap your triceps in, which is the backs of your arms. So there's a slight external rotation in the outer upper arms. One more breath here. And then exhale, let's hug both knees into your chest. You can hug your knees here. Just gently rock from side to side. Let's keep the right leg hugging in. Extend the left leg down the mat for Ekapada Uttanasana. So flexing that left foot, pressing the left thigh down to the floor. So the left leg is doing exactly what it just was in Tadasana, that Supta Tadasana a moment ago. But now this right leg is hugging into your chest. One more breath here. Exhale here. Inhale, hug both knees into your chest. Let's hit the left foot flat down to the floor and then extend the right leg up towards the sky. Now just coming to about 80% of the stretch here. You can bring your hands to the backs of your hamstrings, working that leg towards straight, that right leg towards straight. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight. Just beginning to open up the back of that leg. Gently release the leg. We're going to externally rotate it. So it's the thigh bone rotating out to the right in the hip socket. So the toes and knees now face towards the right, and then cross the right ankle over top of the left knee, coming to a figure four. Now you can use that right hand to gently guide the right knee more open if that feels okay in your body. Just beginning to open up that right hip. One more breath. Exhale here. Inhale, extend the right leg back up towards the sky, neutrally rotate it. And again, let's hug both knees into the chest. We'll do the other side. So here in Uttanasana, you can sort of rock back and forth, massaging your sacrum, that kind of flat part right above your bum. Exhale, release the right leg down the mat. Ekapada Uttanasana. Right foot flex, reaching out through that heel, pressing the thigh down. One more breath. Okay, let's re-hug the right knee into the chest. And then set that right foot down to the floor. Extend the left leg up towards the sky. Again, coming to about 80% of the stretch here. Just beginning to feel that opening in the back of that left leg. It might feel good for you to kind of roll out your ankle, point and flex your foot. Try and keep the spine neutral so the low back, your sacrum, your bum all stay on the floor. Okay, let's externally rotate that left leg. So the toes and knees point out to the left, and then cross the left ankle over the right knee, coming into this figure four. Just gently opening up the outside of this left hip. You can use the left hand to guide that hip a little bit more open. Just an option though, you don't have to. One more breath. Let's extend that left leg up towards the sky again, neutrally rotate it, and then hug both knees into your chest. All right, bringing your knees over top of the hips, and a good way to know if they're there is you can put your hands flat just above your knees, and then you can hold onto that outer edges of your mat or just press the hands down. You're going to inhale here and exhale, tap the right heel down to the floor, moving from the hip, and inhale it back up. Exhale, left. Inhale, lift. Exhale, both heels top down, and inhale, lift. Starting with the left side. Exhale, left. Inhale, lift. Exhale, right. Inhale, lift. Trying to keep the knees right over top of the hips. Exhale, both. Inhale, back up. Starting on the right. Inhale, lift. Exhale, left. Inhale, lift. Exhale, both heels tap. Inhale, lift, starting on the left. Exhale, left. Inhale, lift. Exhale, right. Inhale, lift. Exhale, both heels tap. Inhale, lift. One more time, starting with each side. So right, inhale, left. Again, movements coming from your hips. Your knees are staying 90 degrees. Both heels tap. Inhale, lift. And left. And lift. Right. And lift. Both heels tapping it down. Inhale, back up. Hug your knees into your chest. Uttanasana. So make sure there's enough room next to you that you're going to be able to twist your knees to the side. I get a little close to this wall, so I'm going to scoot over a little bit. But bring your arms out to a T or a goalpost, whatever you have room for. Knees come back over top of the hips. You're going to inhale here and exhale. Twist your knees over towards the left, not letting them come all the way down to the floor, but hovering over top of the floor, keeping the shoulders down. Inhale back up through center and exhale over to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Keep going. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. If you want to make this a little more challenging, you can straighten the legs. Inhale, back up through center. And left if you have room. Inhale, center. Last time. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. And right. Inhale, center. All right, hug your knees into your chest just for another moment. We're gonna come up onto all fours, so you can rock forward and back, coming up and over your legs, or you can just gently roll to one side and press yourself up. So, coming up onto all fours, wrist right underneath of your shoulders, knees underneath of your hips, wrist creases parallel or slightly turned out to the front edge of your mat. We'll take a few cat-cow poses here. So deep inhale, coming into cow, belly button drops, tailbone lifts, collarbone broadens, and shoulder blades come together on your back, wrapping the triceps back. And then exhale, chin to chest, belly button to the spine, scooping the tailbone under, lengthening it towards the backs of the knees. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat, moving with your own breath, no rush. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Inhale back to a neutral spine. We're going to step the right foot forward to the inside of the right thumb, walking the foot forward enough that the knee stays over top of the ankle and doesn't come forward. Lengthen the tailbone back, hug the outer hips in, and you can bring your hands up to that right knee. Scoop the tailbone under here so we're not arching in that low back, but the spine stays long. Exhale, hands back down to the floor, step the right foot back and left foot forward. The hips can gently come forward, lengthening the tailbone down towards the inside of that right knee. Hands can come up to that left knee. One more breath here. And exhale, hands come down to frame that front foot. Let's tuck the back toe under this time, lift the right knee up, and step the left foot back, downward facing dog. Feet are about hips distance apart, hands shoulder distance apart. Rooting through the thumb and first finger, lifting the forearms up away from the floor, wrapping the triceps in, heart melts back towards the feet. Heels lifted right above the second toe, a little bend in the knees so you can really lengthen your tailbone up. And then once you find that length in your spine, you can begin to straighten the knees a little more. One more breath here. Bottom of your exhale, look toward your hands, hinge forward to plank pose. For this first one, let's all place our knees down to the floor. Inhale here, exhale, hinge forward so the shoulders come over top of the fingertips, keeping the elbows wrapping in by the waist, lower all the way down to the floor. Inhale, little baby cobra, baby Uttanasana, head, chest, shoulders lift, lengthening the tailbone back, shoulder blades come together on your back, keeping those elbows in right by your waist. One more breath here. And exhale, lower down. You can see right there in this baby cobra, or we're gonna take an upward facing dog. So peek back, make sure your wrists are right underneath of your elbows. Root down through the tops of your feet. See if you can get all 10 toes on the floor, and then lift the thighs up, tailbone lengthens back. Exhale here, inhale, upward facing dog. Opening across the chest, shoulder blades come together, tailbone lengthens back, thighs lift up. One more breath. Scooping your tailbone under, lifting from the inner thighs, hips up and back, downward facing dog. 3 more breaths here. One more breath. Bottom of the exhale, look towards your hands, walk your feet forward towards the front of your mat. Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. This is the lengthening of your spine. Weight shifts forward into the balls of your feet, crown of your head reaches forward, tailbone back, shoulder blades coming together on your back. And exhale, forward fold. 2 more, moving with the breath. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, spine long. And exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold. Coming all the way up to stand. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, upward facing hand pose, arms sweeping out and up, coming shoulder distance apart. And exhale, hands to your side. Tadasana, mountain pose. Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, arms sweeping out and up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hinging from the hips, little bend in the knees, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, lengthening through the spine. Exhale, walking your feet back to plank pose. You can be on your knees or in this full plank. Inhale here, exhale, Chaturanga. Shoulders shift forward, elbows stay in. Inhale, either cobra or upward facing dog, whichever you prefer in your body. Hips up and back, downward dog. 2 more breaths here. Bottom of the exhale, look towards your hands, walk the feet forward, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, spine long. Exhale, fold. Inhale, coming all the way up to stand, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Tadasana again. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, step it back through plank, right into your Chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog, and downward facing dog. Again, 3 breaths. Let's move those blocks while we're here, if you have them, to the top of the mat. 1 more breath. Bottom of the exhale, look towards your hands. Let's step the right foot forward to the inside of the right thumb. We're going to heel toe that right foot to the left, spin the left heel down, and inhale up for Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Our shoulders will square toward the long edge of the mat. That front right knee is bent right over top of the heel. Lengthening the tailbone down, lifting that front hip point up and away from the right thigh bone. Arms come out to a T right from the shoulders. And exhale if it feels good on your neck, looking out over top of the right fingertips. We want that right knee to point right over top of the second toe. So think of the inner thigh scooping up and over that thigh bone, hugging the right glute cheek in and under. Whole back leg is spun in. 1 more breath. Exhale here, straighten through that right leg. And then inhale, straighten through the right leg. Exhale, Trikonasana, hinging from that right hip, placing this right hand to the block, to the pinky toe side of the right foot, left hand to the sky. So keeping engagement in your quadriceps, lifting up on those large thigh muscles. And then that right glute cheek is still wrapping in and under. Open across the chest to look up towards the left hand as long as that feels good in your neck. 2 more breaths here. Exhale here. Inhale, back to Warrior 2. Rebending that right knee. Inhale, hold. Exhale, hands come down to frame the right foot. Step it back through plank. You can flow through your Chaturanga and your back bend if you would like, or you can skip it and go right to down dog. One more breath. Bottom of your exhale, look towards your hands. We're going to step that left foot forward to the inside of the left thumb, heel toeing it to the right about once, spinning the right heel down, line up heel to arch, and inhale up, warrior two. Virabhadrasana 2 on the left side, left knees bent over top of the left heel. Spine is long, lifting your ribs up away from your hips. Rooting down through that right pinky toe, inner right thigh spins in. One more breath here. Exhale here, inhale, straighten through that left leg, hinging from the left hip, Trikonasana. Left hand to the block to the pinky toe side of that left foot, right hand to the sky. Prioritizing length in the spine here over how far down you can get that hand. So think of the left rib cage moving away from that left hip. And then open across the chest to turn your gaze up towards the right fingertips. One more breath. Exhale, look down towards the left big toe and inhale back up to warrior two. Exhale, hands come down to frame the left foot. Step it back through plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, hips up and back, downward dog. One more breath here. Bottom of the exhale, look towards your hands, walking your feet forward, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, spine long. Exhale, fold. Inhale, staying all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana, arms sweeping out and up. And exhale, Tadasana, mountain pose. Let's take those blocks if you have them. If you don't, you're gonna pretend here. So if you have blocks, you're gonna take one on the thinnest height and put it between the inner upper thighs, and then the other one on the longest height between your hands. So your palm will go on the shortest side of it. So feet approximately hips distance apart. That may vary depending on the size of your block and the size of your body. So, but trying to get them as close to hip distance apart as you can with this block here. Now, if you don't have the block, you're gonna pretend, okay? So squeeze the block, or just imagine that you're squeezing your inner thighs in as well as your outer hips. So everything right here is engaged in hugging this block in. Weight is in your heels, and then you're gonna squeeze this block with your hands. So open across the chest, wrap your triceps back, and use that sort of the leverage of this block to find that external rotation in the outer upper arms. Exhale here, inhale, arms sweeping forward and up, and exhale, hips sink back, Uttanasana. So spine is long here, reaching the tailbone back, opening across the chest, wrapping the triceps in, squeezing the block in with the inner thighs and the outer hips. One more breath. Inhale, come back up to stand. Release the blocks down. If you had those blocks, just put them down to the floor. We're all gonna do it without now. So standing back up to the top of your mat, feet hips distance apart, hands by your sides. Exhale here, Tadasana. Inhale, arms forward and up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hips sink back, Uttanasana. Weights in the heels, spine long. Outer hips, inner thighs hugging in. One more breath here. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. And we're gonna step the left foot all the way back to the back of the mat into this low lunge. Pausing here for a moment, reach back through that left heel and press the left thigh up to the sky. You can place your hands to blocks here under the shoulders if you have them, so that you can really keep the chest open and the spine long. One more breath. And exhale, we're gonna gently lower the left knee down. You can move the blocks, or we're gonna place the left hand to the block on the lowest height and inhale, twist open to the right. So rooted through that right toe, so the knee points over top of the second toe, right hand to the sky. Outer hips stay hugging in, inner thighs stay hugging in, just like they were a moment ago with that block between your knees in your chair pose. One more breath here. Exhale, unwind. Let's move that block off to the side. We're gonna walk the hands back, the hips back, over top of this left knee, flexing the right foot, coming into Ardha Hanumanasana. So stretching again the back of this right leg. Trying to keep your hips right over top of the center so we're not letting this left hip jet out to the left. One more breath. And exhale, walking the hands forward. Lengthening the tailbone back here, hugging the inner and outer hips in. Inhale, arms forward and up into this low lunge. Tailbone lengthens back. So think of like the pubic bone lifting up towards the belly button. From here, exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale, twist to the right, and then place the left elbow wherever it lands on that left knee. Or right knee, excuse me. One more breath. Exhale here, inhale, unwind. Hands come back down to the floor. Curl the left toes under, lift the left knee up, step the foot up to meet the right. Forward fold just for a moment. Then we're gonna set the right foot back to the back of the mat. Reaching back through that right heel, pressing the right thigh up. Again, remember, if you have those blocks, feel free to use them. So keeping the spine long. One more breath. And exhale, gently lower the right knee down to the floor, uncurl the right toes. Right hand can come on the lowest height to the block right underneath of the shoulder, and then inhale, sweeping the left arm up to the sky. Little twist here. Stay rooted through that left big toe so the knee stays pointed over top of the second toe. Gazing up towards that hand. If that feels okay in your neck, it's not required. One more breath. Exhale, unwind. Placing the block off to the side. On your next exhale, walking the hands back, the hips back over top of that right knee, and then flexing the left foot. Again, just opening through the back of this leg. One more breath. Exhale, hands walking forward to frame that right or left foot. And then bring your hands up to the left knee. Scooping the tailbone under, hugging the outer hips in, hugging the inner thighs in. Inhale, arms forward and up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale here. Exhale, twist to the left, right elbow to the left knee, just wherever it lands. Trying to keep the spine long, staying open across the chest. Maybe looking back over top of that left shoulder. Exhale here. Inhale, unwind. Hands come down to frame that right foot. Let's lift the right knee up and step the right foot forward. Forward fold. Just pause here for a moment. Feet about hips distance apart. You can hold opposite elbows, gently sway from side to side. Hands coming down to the floor, and let's just walk the feet back to plank pose. Inhale here. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog, lifting the thighs up in that up dog, hips up and back. One more breath. Exhale here, let's inhale the right leg up and back, three-legged dog, toes and knees pointing down towards the floor. So the hips are neutral, the legs neutral in the hip socket. Bottom of your exhale, look towards your hands, step that right foot forward to the inside of the right thumb. Feet are hips distance apart here, put a little bit in that back knee. Inhale, arms forward and up, high lunge, Anjaneyasana. So really scoop the tailbone under so you can get your spine relatively neutral here. And then as you can kind of maintain that posture in your hips, keeping that nice long low back, you can begin to straighten that back leg a little bit more. Back heel stays lifted. Arms are shoulder distance apart, palms facing together, elbows nice and straight. One more breath. And exhale, let's twist open to the right. So the right hand comes behind us, left hand in front of us. Staying open across the chest. Shoulder blades come together on your back. One more breath. Exhale here. Inhale, unwind. Exhale, hands come down to frame the front foot. Step it back through plank. Option to flow through your chaturanga, cobra or up dog, and then downward facing dog. Exhale here. Inhale, left leg to hip height, toes and knees pointed down, three-legged dog. Keep stability in your spine. Keep your hands, like the weight even in both hands, right? We might notice that we want to rock towards the right a little bit. Exhale, look towards the hands, step the left foot forward to the inside of the left thumb. Feet are hips distance apart here, so on railroad tracks. A little bit in that back knee. Inhale, arms forward and up, high lunge, Untitled. Tailbone lengthens down, and as you can sort of maintain space in that low back, you can reach back through the right heel, press the right thigh back. One more breath here. Outer hips hugging in, inner thighs hugging in. Inhale here and exhale. We're going to twist to the left. Right hand comes forward, left hand back. Staying open across the chest. Shoulder blades gently together on the back. You can gaze back towards the left fingertips if that feels okay in your neck. One more breath. Inhale, unwind. Exhale, hands come down to frame the left foot. Step it back through plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, hips up and back, downward dog. Bottom of your exhale, look towards your hands, walk your feet forward, forward fold at the front of your mat. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Uttanasana, hips sink back, weight shifts in your heels, arms sweep forward and up, shoulder distance apart. One more breath here. And exhale, hands to heart center, bringing your palms together in front of your chest. Inhale here, spine really nice and long, and then exhale, twist to the right, hinging forward from the hips, sending the hips back even further. Left elbow lands wherever it touches the right. Keeping the outer hips hugging in, inner thighs hugging in. Trying to make sure that your knees stay even so that left knee doesn't creep forward in front of the right as we twist to the right. Exhale here, inhale, unwind. And exhale, twist left. Again, hinging forward a little bit more, sending those hips back, right elbow lands wherever it lands. Keeping that muscle engagement in the outer thighs or outer hips. Exhale here, inhale, unwind. Exhale here, inhale, come up to stand. Just release the hands by your sides. So let's place, if you have those blocks, just in front of you, about shoulder distance apart. If you don't have blocks, you can just keep your hands to your hips. So feet hips distance apart, we're gonna step the left foot back 2 to 3 feet, rooting down through the whole foot, especially the pinky toe side. It might be slightly turned out to the left. Outer hips hug in, hug the inner thighs together, hands to your hips. Root down to the feet, lift up through the quadriceps, and hinge forward from the hips, coming into Uttanasana. Root down through that right big toe. The right hip crease can kind of slide back towards that back wall. Now, if you don't have blocks, you can keep your hands here to your hips, or you can bring the hands to the blocks right underneath of your shoulders. Trying to keep the spine really long here. So open across the chest. Think of broadening your collarbone. The shoulder blades come together slightly on your back. One more breath. Exhale here. Hands back up to the hips, root down to the feet. Come back up to stand. Let's step the left foot up to meet the right. We'll switch sides. Right foot comes back maybe 2 to 3 feet, right? It's going to depend on your body. Feet about hips distance apart. Root down to the pinky toe of that right foot. Inner right thigh spins in. Root down to the left big toe. Left quadricep lifts. Outer hips hug in, inner thighs hug in. Stand up really nice and tall. Exhale, hinge forward from the hips. Hands can either stay right here at the hips or come down to those blocks. So keeping the spine really nice and long here. Rooting down through the left big toe, that left hip crease can slide towards the back of your mat. One more breath. Exhale here, hands back up to your hips, rooting down through the feet. Inhale, back up to stand. Let's step that right foot back up to the top of the mat. Moving your blocks off to the side. All right. Standing with your feet hips distance apart, hands by your side. Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale, arms sweeping forward and up. Exhale, hips sink back, Uttanasana. So right away, root down through your feet, hug the inner thighs in, outer hips hugging in, spine long. Inhale here, exhale, hands through heart center. Keeping those outer hips hugging in so that left knee doesn't creep forward. Inhale here, exhale, twist to the right, hinging forward, left elbow lands wherever it lands on that right knee. From here, shift your weight over to the right foot a little bit, and then bend that left knee so your left heel comes up towards the left glute. Maybe you stay right here, or if you would like, you can extend the leg back behind you, coming in to a twisted high lunge. Nice, slow, and controlled. Stay where it's challenging you today. So maybe it's that twisted chair, maybe it's just beginning to lift that left foot up, maybe it's stepping back to this lunge. One more breath. Exhale, look down towards the right big toe. Weight shifts back forward into the right foot. Nice, slow, and controlled. You're gonna re-bend that left knee. Place it back down, hips distance apart. Inhale, unwind. And exhale, forward fold. 3 breaths here. We'll do the other side. One more breath. Exhale here. Weight shifts into the heels, arms sweep forward and up, hips sink back, Uttanasana. So remember that engagement in your legs we've talked about a lot today. Inhale here, exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale, twist to the left. Hips go back a little further, left or right elbow to the left knee. Spine really nice and long here, open across your chest. You can look down towards the left big toe, that might help you a little bit. Shift the weight to the left foot, lift up the right heel, begin to lift the right heel up towards the right glute. Nice, slow, and controlled. Send that right leg back to the back of the mat, coming into this twisted lunge. So because you're hinged forward here, you can really reach back to that back heel and press that right thigh up to the sky. Make sure that that outer left hip is still hugging in so we're not letting it fall out to the side. Maybe you can look up to the sky. One more breath. Exhale, look down toward that left big toe. Weight shifts back into that left foot. Slowly bring the heel back up towards the glute. Sit it back down, chair. Inhale here, and exhale, forward fold. On your next exhale, walk your feet back to plank. You can go right to down dog if that feels better for you, or chaturanga, cobra, or up dog to downward facing dog. One more breath here. Bottom of your exhale, look towards your hands. We're going to step that right foot forward to the inside of the right thumb. We're going to heel toe the right foot over to the left. The right knee is going to come down behind the right wrist. Now this right heel can come as close to that left hip as feels best in your body, and then walk the left leg back directly from the left hip. Now we have a lot of space here between the right hip and the mat. You can sit on a block there. You can also roll over onto your back and do a figure 4 like we did at the beginning of our practice. So inhale, sit nice and tall here for a breath. And then exhale, fold forward over top of that right leg. Coming onto your forearms, maybe making a little pillow out of the backs of your hands or extending your arms forward down your mat. 3 breaths here. On your next inhale, gently walking your hands back up. So wrists under the shoulders. Tuck the left toes under, lift the left knee up, and we're just gonna step the right foot back to downward facing dog. Then we'll do the other side. So step the left foot forward to the inside of the left thumb. You're gonna heel toe that left foot all the way over behind the right wrist, and then sit the left knee down behind the left wrist. The left heel can come as close to that right hip as feels best in your body, and then walk that right leg back directly behind the hip. Again, remembering you can put a prop here under the left hip if you have a lot of space there, or roll over onto your back for a figure 4. Lengthening the tailbone back. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. And then exhale, folding forward over top of that left hip, coming onto your elbows, maybe bringing your forehead to the backs of your hands or extending your arms forward. Two more deep breaths here. Okay, let's inhale. Walk the hands back in under the shoulders. Tuck the right toes under, lift that right knee up, and then send the left foot back, downward facing dog. Last one of our practice today. One more deep breath here. Exhale, gently bring the knees down about mouth distance apart, big toes into touch, hips to heels, child's pose. Arms can be extended overhead or bringing them back by your sides, whatever feels better for you. One more breath here. Let's gently walk your hands back up so you come to a seated position, and then swing your legs out to one side, extending them in front of you, flexing your feet, sitting up nice and tall here. So feet about hip distance apart, toes and knees pointing up to the sky. Exhale here, let's hug the right knee into the chest. And then gently allow that right knee to open out to the right, bringing the sole of the right foot to the inner left thigh. Root down through your sits bones, those two kind of bony protrusions at the bottom of your bum. Think of your ribs lifting up and away from your hips. Inhale here, and then exhale, slowly hinging from the hips, walking the hands forward. So trying to keep the spine really nice and long here so that the movement, the bending is coming from the hip joint. So you can think of the nose going towards that pinky toe. There's just a little slight twist here. Creating length on your inhale and softening a little bit on your exhale. And then inhale, walking your hands back up. Using the right hand to bring the knee back up through center, extending it down the mat. Other side, hug the left leg in. Open the left knee out to the left, bringing the sole of the left foot to the inner right thigh. Rooting down to the sits bones, sitting up tall. And exhale, hinging forward from the hips, nose coming towards that right pinky toe. Spine stays really long. So keep the shoulder blades together on your back so we're not rounding forward, but maintaining the length. On your inhales, finding a little more length and then a little more softness on your exhales. One more breath here. Inhale, walking your hands back in, using your hand to bring the left knee up, extending it down the mat, making sure there's enough room behind you on your mat. Lay down. You can hug your knees into your chest. Hugging, keeping the right leg hugged in, extend the left leg down the mat. Back in this Uttanasana. We had this at the beginning of our practice. Inhale here. And exhale, let's bring the right leg up and over the left side of your body into a little twist. Now, if this causes any pain in your knees, hips, back, you can bend that left leg up under the right, stacking the knees and the hips. One more breath. Inhale, unwind. Hug the left knee in, extend the right down the mat, back into this Uttanasana. Inhale here and exhale, twisting the other way. So bringing that left knee up and over the right side. You can extend the right arm or left arm out or bend it like a goalpost. And again, remembering you can always bend that right leg if this causes any pain in your knees, hips, back, if it's stressful in your mind. One more breath here. Inhale, unwind. Hug both knees into your chest for a moment. You can stay right here or find a happy baby. So keeping your spine long, keeping your sacrum down to the floor. Try to bring your knees up towards your shoulders and then bring your heels up over top of your knees. You can reach up. So you can hold the backs of your hamstrings here if that's where you can comfortably reach. Or you can bring your hands to the pinky toe sides of your feet or even peace fingers around the big toes. But trying to keep the heels over top of the knees, meaning that they're not, down here. And maybe you're not perfectly there, that's totally fine. You can just be working in that direction. Maintaining length in your spine. So we're making sure we're not curling our bum way up off the floor. One more breath here. Okay, releasing the legs, hugging them back in. And then making your way into Shavasana, final relaxation pose. So just extending the legs down the mat. Hands can come by your sides. Closing your eyes if that feels right for you. Take time to get out any fidgets that you may have. Allow your body to feel heavy here on your mat. Just allow your breath to be natural. We'll spend a few moments here just trying to stay present in our bodies right here, right now. It's easy to kind of let your mind wander to other things, maybe what you have to do later today, maybe to your grocery list, maybe to a million other things, but can you stay present and focused right here? Just kind of letting all those other thoughts pass through, not really giving them any time or attention. And we'll be here for a few minutes, enjoying this stillness and quiet. Slowly begin to bring your awareness back into your breath and back into your body. Just wiggling your fingers and toes, maybe rolling out your ankles and wrists. Then taking your time, just gently roll to one side and pressing yourself back up to a comfortable seated position. Sitting up nice and tall here. Exhale here. Inhale, arms sweeping out and up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Thank you very much for joining me today. Namaste. Thank you so much. Again, my name is Joella and I'm with UBC Rec. I hope you enjoyed your practice. Have a great day.